For more, we're now joined by Contralesa, Congress of Traditional Leaders of South Africa, the Secretary General Zolani Mkiva, for more reactions. Zolani, a very good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for your time. Sad news that Chief Nogcinile Mtirara's mother-in-law was gunned down in such a fashion by these people who are still unknown and at large.
Well, it's terrible news, quite very bad and very sad indeed. And as the National Executive Committee of Contralesa, we have just been briefed by our Provincial Executive Committee in the Eastern Cape about this, as to how it occurred and when it occurred and where it occurred. It's quite very disturbing, Vuyo. And this points to wheels coming off, and clearly, insofar as crime is concerned, things are falling apart in the country. And the level of crime has reached what I would define as a low-intensity terrorism, which is underway in the country. And if left unattended, as quickly as possible, we come up with a plan to counter this. We are going to be having another root shock very, very soon. Already, what we are seeing with the deaths of so many, starting with the 18 that was brutally murdered in Lusikisiki, the 5 in Biki, the 6 in Kumbu, and the other number in Gqeberha, and now what has happened at Mqhekezweni. Maybe it's important to paint a picture here, Vuyo, in order for the nation to be aware where this crime has occurred. This is one of the Mandela memorial sites. It's somewhat part of the national heritage sites of our country because Madiba grew up in the same house where Mamu Nogcinile was actually assassinated or brutally killed. It's very sad that in a place which is a quasi key point, that these criminals can also just walk in there just like that and eliminate one of the senior citizens of the country, a high royal leader in the circles of Abatembu nation. This is one of the cornerstones of the Abatembu kingdom. As I say, Mamu Nogcinile is the daughter-in-law of Nkosi Jongindaba, who reigned over the kingdom of Atembu for a period of time. And that's the leader that Dr. President Mandela himself grew under his wing. So it's shocking. It's a shocker for the entire Tembu kingdom, for the entire Eastern Cape, and indeed for the entire nation. We want to send our condolences to the Mtirara royal family, to the Abatembu kingdom, and the people of the Eastern Cape at large. This is affecting the whole country. And I think time has come for us to take drastic measures. It requires drastic measures because what is happening points to chaos and anarchy. And unless we begin to come up with a response that is a high-cost clampdown, if it means that all the houses and households that are suspected that are having arms catch, then the police, including the security forces of the country, it's time for them to go there to start a process of searching for these illegal weapons. Otherwise, we're sitting on a ticking time bomb that day in and night in, day out and night out, we're going to see our people being eliminated in this fashion.
Well, 2 men wearing balaclavas fatally shooting a 71-year-old in Mama Nogcinile means they really meant business. But what is more disturbing is what Ingosi told Ntsiki Nohia, our Ntsiki Nohia, in that interview, where he says that he is advising all women in the area to just leave the area because there's just no hope that the situation will get any better anytime soon.
Certainly, I heard Nkosi Mtirara. Actually, I had a word with him earlier today. He was one of the people who are giving us a briefing in the National Office of Contralesa. He did make that point that our women are vulnerable. The children are too exposed. And the best, perhaps, is for them to seek refuge elsewhere where they would be safe and secure. This is really pointing to calamity, Vuyo. It's very difficult that in a country which is known as a country with a rule of law, and suddenly we have a situation like this, which points to a total opposite of a rule of law. There is lawlessness. As you could hear him there, that he says that the criminals have taken over the governance of villages, of homesteads, to the extent that they are terrorizing and brutalizing society. Unless we begin to say the security forces must come to the fore and do what is expected. Really, you listen to the leaders themselves, they seem to be caught wanting on this issue. And I think they have to take a hard decision, to say that we need the security forces on the ground, including the army of the country, to search, especially the hotspot areas. You go door by door, household by household, homestead by homestead, village by village, to ensure that we alleviate our society of illegal arms in those villages. Otherwise, we are going to leave things to chance. Even tonight, we may wake up the following day hearing other sad news that one other person has been taken out together with the family. So I think we really have to, this situation calls for drastic measures.
Zolani Mkiva, thank you very much for your time. He's, of course, the Secretary General of the Congress of Traditional Leaders of South Africa.